Hi, class. My name is Nia Bruce,
And I'm Alex Bothwell.
and this is our COVID-19 facility reopening plan. Basically, we have chosen to be the owners of a hotel, and we're going to touch on the topics of the food industry sector and how it was affected by COVID and how we plan on implementing new changes, and also just new protocols and how to keep our staff as safe as possible with all the health regulations. So, um, hotels like basically just need to organize a plan to keep their investments and cash flows protected, but also, as I said before, making sure that we're safeguarding our employees from getting infected, but also making sure that they're staying employed and having a steady cash flow. To ensure the safe opening of the hotels, we were going to create an action plan that provides safety for the hotel opening and create more available resources. So, the plan for reopening is an output tool that should be applied all together with the rules and regulations from the local and the national health authorities. So, with that being said, the implementation of the action really just needs to have continuous review due to the changes of macro and micro business environment. The plan begins with hotel management techniques. So the teams will be required to adjust to the new methods and operational measures that are going to be efficient for the protection of their health. So during that plan, we decided to communicate between management, including the hotel associates, executive team, and above unit team, because it's vital that they attempt to come to terms with the new forms of operation as well. The plan moving ahead to increase and ensure effective efficiency will involve new policies for safety, security, sanitation, physical distancing, food options, etiquette, and communication. And in terms of communication, the first policy is constant training and updates to motivate the employee teams to keep them engaged and to ensure retention, because during this time it is not necessarily set in stone that people will want to keep their jobs. There's things in place like unemployment, which people sometimes decide to use rather than going back to work. So this can also affect our retention. The hotel will also issue questionnaires to the team to ensure that there's a clear understanding of the new policies and to determine their compliance with the policies. But the employees' interaction with the guests will also involve sharing a significant amount of information, and the payment methods will be cashless, just to ensure there's no direct contact within the hotel between our employees and our guests. So in terms of sanitation as well, the guests and employees will be required to sanitize on arrival. And also, masks are heavily, I guess you could say,
Encouraged.
word Alex, encouraged. Thank you. Heavily encouraged, but not mandatory, which is basically all the precautions I think that everyone else is following for COVID as well. And
Mhm.
we'll ensure that all cleaning is done regularly, especially when at the peak of hours for the customers.
Right. And in terms of etiquette, the hotel management will ensure to prioritize the ground floor bedrooms to avoid overcrowding in the elevators and trying to get up to higher floors. Secondly, the guests and employees will be discouraged against holding doors or any other surfaces unnecessarily. Kind of like we've seen on campus, we'll try to have automatic doors installed or automatic revolving doors installed to um, keep down the touching of surfaces and things like that. Um, the elevator will be regulated to accommodate only one person at a time, unless you guys are traveling together or as a family. And masks will definitely be encouraged on the elevators. And lastly, the hotel will introduce a shop for the guests to access soft drinks and other things to increase the comfort at the hotel. Um, and of course, we still have our COVID safety guidelines in place, such as 6 feet distancing and things like that. Also, we will limit the furniture that will be in the hotel lobby just to kind of discourage people from hanging out. We would prefer that to be done outside or either in your room. Um, Now, in this food sector, the hotel will review the stock range to reduce waste. So we will charge delivery services to accommodate for frequent delivery of the stock, but this also we'll have to also explain to our guests that we may run out of stock from time to time of certain products. The bar services will be available at the reception, and we will also be trying to implement the use of an app to order drinks and food to avoid contact walking up to a bar or having a waiter come around to take orders. So this will definitely limit contact between our staff and the people attending the reception. We'll create a simple menu so that way nothing is overcomplicated for either side. And we will definitely consider the sale of ready meals, and that way we can minimize the need for chefs that we would need available. Finally, in terms of security and safety, we will minimize and control the time when a customer can get access to hotel services. So we already have opening and operating hours, but we will kind of limit that just to make sure that we are having, once again, minimal contact with the staff and the people who are staying at the hotel. We would definitely make sure that the number of people attending any event in the hotel is the number that is suggested by the government and the CDC. We want to make sure that we are in following those guidelines. And lastly, lastly, the hotel will also install ACs in the private rooms and emergency kits and a manual on what the guests should do in case they fall sick. And we are confident that with following these guidelines, that our reopening plan could be successful. And that is our project.
Thank you.
Thank you.